Year after year, we watched the Mario Party franchise plummet further and further into what seemed like an inescapable pit of bad ideas. From the cars, to races to the finish, to free roam, to crap, it seemed this franchise just couldn't escape the hole it dug itself into. Even Super Mario Party, which was a return to the traditional Mario Party experience, wasn't that great. It wasn't bad per se, but the game suffered from a lack of interesting content. Mario Party Superstars was a step in the right direction, but the game itself was centered around using elements from previous Mario Parties, so I don't really know if that counts. But to my own shock, this terrible Mario Party era suddenly came to an end on October 17th, 2024. Super Mario Party Jamboree was released and exceeded everyone's low expectations and then some. Nintendo managed to make one of the best Mario Parties we've seen since the GameCube era, in my opinion at least. But what makes this game so good? In this video, I'm going to take a deep dive into this game and talk about all the things that make it the amazing experience it is. I know this seems like an odd place to start, but there's some stuff here that's worth mentioning. Let's start with the character roster. This game has the largest Mario Party roster to date with a whopping 22 characters. Many of the characters return from previous Mario Parties along with two new faces, Pauline and Ninji. The roster for this game feels really diverse and has just about every character you could ever want, minus Hammer Bro and Dry Bones. The most notable place to visit in the Party Plaza is the Party Planning Trek. Party Planning Trek is sort of like this game's story mode. You roam around an empty board completing tasks and even taking on boss fights. At the time of writing the script, I still have a bit more of this to complete, so no spoilers. As you progress through Party Planning Trek, you'll unlock new decorations for the Party Plaza, which makes the area feel far more lively. The rest of the areas in the Party Plaza are opportunities to spend your party points on your party card, reactions, music, you get the idea. You can even check your achievements. That's right, this game has achievements. The Party Plaza is a great hub world for this game. Alright, time to talk about the meat and potatoes of this game. Let's talk about Party Mode. There are 5 new boards as well as 2 returning ones. Each one is intricately crafted and offers some of the best Party Mode experiences the Mario Party franchise has to offer. There's Mega Wiggler's Tree Party, where you have to use Wiggler's position on the board to your advantage. There's Roll'em Raceway, which is a linear board where you have to be careful when choosing a path to nap the star. There's Rainbow Galleria, a mall filled with shops and escalators. Be mindful of the flash sale that will occur every once in a while. There's Goomba Lagoon, where you have to be mindful of the constantly changing tide. There's the returning Mario's Rainbow Castle, where you have to be careful when getting close to the star. You don't want Imposter Bowser giving you a Zetar instead. There's also Western Land returning in all its glory. Do your best to use the train to your advantage. Lastly, there's King Bowser's Keep, easily the most difficult board this game has to offer. Watch out for the many, many Bowser spaces surrounding the Bowser Byway. With all these incredible boards, it's really hard to pick a favorite. Now thankfully, this game brings back the basics from the Mario Parties when it comes to the way Party Mode is played. I trust that I don't need to go over the rules with you. There are lots of cool new additions, like some of the items at your disposal in Jamboree Buddies. Jamboree Buddies are a great addition to this game. A character will appear randomly on the board, and a showdown minigame is initiated once a player walks past them. The player who walks past them is given a pretty hefty advantage in said minigame. Whoever wins the minigame gets the Jamboree Buddy. Each Jamboree Buddy has their own unique ability that can help you out in different ways. Plus, you get to do everything twice. For example, if you land on a blue space, you'll get coins twice instead of once. Or, if you land on a star space, you can buy 2 stars, assuming you have the coins for it. This can, however, sometimes be a disadvantage for moments like when you land on a Bowser space. Be careful, because if someone passes you on the board, your Jamboree Buddy will go with them instead. As fun as Jamboree Buddies are, I do think they can easily break the pace of the game. I'd argue each showdown minigame needs to be shortened by a lot. There should also be the option to turn them off as well. Jamboree Buddies are a positive experience for the game overall, so I'm not going to complain too much, but that is my one piece of criticism towards this game. In other news, there's an entirely new rule set to try out. If you're bored of regular Mario Party rules, you can try out Pro Rules. If you're interested in learning more about Pro Rules, I use them in most of my gameplay videos for this game, so feel free to check them out. And that pretty much covers Party Mode. The minigames are super good in this game. My one and only concern after watching the trailer for this game was if the minigames were going to be good or not. That was pretty much the one aspect that could have potentially ruined the experience for me. But while the minigames aren't completely over the top, they more than deliver on what a good Mario Party's minigame selection should be. There's tons of really enjoyable minigames here, including some returning fan favorites, which I think is a nice touch. Plus, there's 112 of them. That's insane! That's the most minigames we've seen in a Mario Party ever! You have your free-for-all minigames, your 2v2s, your 1v3s, your coin, your co-op, your boss fight, you name it, they got it! No complaints here when it comes to the minigames. They're amazing. This segment won't take too long to explain. Motion Island is home to 3 game modes revolving around motion controls. Each one stands out for its own separate reasons. Firstly, there's Rhythm Kitchen, which is very similar to the rhythm minigames from Super Mario Party, except these ones are focused more on food. This mode's alright, but it's kind of a one and done for me. There's Paratroopa Flight School, where you're allowed to soar like an eagle using the Joy-Cons. You can fly around freely, take Toad to where he needs to go, or compete with another player to get the most Biddy Buds. This whole game mode is pretty fun all the way around. My only issue is how tiring it can get flapping your arms for so long, but maybe I'm just a wimp. Lastly, there's my personal favorite, Toad's Item Factory. Here you use the Joy-Cons to get a sphere from point A to point B. It's relatively simplistic, but it's really charming. And that pretty much does it for Motion Island. This segment also won't take long. Koopathlon is basically just the return of Coinathlon from Mario Party Star Rush, except it's on crack. There's 20 players competing in coin minigames trying to complete the track before anyone else. Each coin you get will help you move further along the track, so it's beneficial to get good at these minigames. You'll also get an item once in a while to help you get ahead. After each round of 3 minigames, everyone will have to survive an Imposter Bowser minigame. Those who don't survive will be sent back a certain number of spaces depending on what place you're currently in. Koopathlon is a very enjoyable experience and adds a surprising amount of replay value to this game. Another unconventional yet enjoyable game mode added is Bowser Kaboom Squad. In this mode, you and 7 other players work together to take down Imposter Bowser. There are 3 different maps to choose from, each one coming with its own obstacles to avoid. Your goal is to run around destroying boxes that contain bombs and then bringing said bombs to the cannon to launch an attack at Imposter Bowser. After a certain amount of time, the round will end and everyone will work together in a co-op minigame. The better you do, the better items you're rewarded with. If you haven't taken down Imposter Bowser by the end of the 5th round, you lose. There's also coins to collect. After collecting 100 of them, you'll be rewarded with bonus time, in which more bombs spawn, allowing you to launch a massive attack at Imposter Bowser. Bonus time is usually critical to your survival, so you want to take advantage of it. I thought Koopathlon and Bowser Kaboom Squad would have been enjoyable one-offs, but they both turned out to be some of the most enjoyable experiences Mario Party has to offer. And that's basically everything there is to know about this game. It absolutely crushed expectations and has set a new standard for all Mario Parties going forward. If I were to give this game a score out of 10, it's easily getting a 9 out of 10. Does this game have flaws? Sure, but they're very few and far between. There aren't really any major flaws that come to mind right away when I think about this game. Now, the 9 out of 10 score may seem a bit ambiguous, but you have to keep in mind that we're judging this based off the standards of a party game. This game does everything right, not only by Mario Party standards, but by party game standards. The only thing holding me back from giving this a 10 out of 10 is the fact that it's a party game, and I tend to reserve the 10 out of 10s for the mainline titles since it's a rather prestigious label. The other thing holding me back is the terrible pacing this game has. Some turns take some odd 30 seconds when others can take up to 15 minutes. It's all because of the Jamboree buddies, but then again, they do add a lot of fun to the game, so it's kind of hard to get mad at the game for that. Now, I know a lot of you may not agree with me considering this the new best Mario Party, but that's my opinion, so shut up. If you're still not convinced why this is the new best Mario Party, that means one of 2 things. Either you weren't paying attention to the video, or you don't appreciate the remarkable quantity and quality of the content in this game. If you're a fan of Mario Party, or even just a fan of party games to play with friends or family, this game is a must-buy. It's easily the best Mario Party experience out there. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. If you disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing as it helps me grow the channel and it really means more than you know. With all that said, I'll see you awesome Nintendo fans in the next video.